today I've got a deck profile from Birmingham Regional I went to on the weekend, and I'm going to show a list here. His name's Kallum. He got 11th place, went X2, playing Gouki. So yeah, Kallum, take it away.
Hello guys, my name's Kallum. I'm basically known for playing Gouki, specifically on Dueling Book and obviously stuff like that. I went X2 at Birmingham Regional the weekend just gone with this deck that you can see on the screen. I basically bubbled. It was quite unfortunate, but I learned quite a bit on the day, so yeah.
Yeah, it's still pretty impressive. It's Gouki. I spoke to you quite a bit throughout the event, and I didn't expect you to go X2. To be fair, I was like, oh, Gouki, here we go, just another rogue deck. But to be fair, you done pretty well throughout the day, and you done well to finish 11th. It sucks to bubble a regional, especially with all the numbers at the moment. Regionals, they're capping out over 100 players. So
it was 103 players to be fair. So
yeah, it's quite a few. Yeah, and it's rough. You have to go X1 to top a regional in the UK at the moment, which is achievable. But I mean, you did pretty well. So do you want to take it away?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'm going to go over the standard stuff first. So obviously we're on 3 Super X. Obviously not really much to explain here. It's the best normal summon in the deck alongside Connector. It pushes you so far in terms of your overall game state. It advances you so far, especially if you have a Gouki name, let's say Twist Cobra, Guts, Octo, or Ironclaw in this case. And obviously, just these here, honestly, just give you so many pushes, extenders, to push through things, and yeah, I think the Gouki cards are just really strong right now.
I remember US Page Connector back in 2018, start of 2019 was such a strong normal summon, and just see it still being played is nuts. Did you ever get anyone in time with the Dolphin?
Yeah, so it was last match. I scooped too soon, game 2, and my intention was, because it was 5 minutes on time, just go to Connector and then summon Dolphin for game. However, that didn't quite work out. Other than that, it didn't really come up, surprisingly. Yeah. Against a Fluffle player, he was doing quite well as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Yeah, it's kind of mental.
UK regionals, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he just faced the most random of stuff, including, I mean, I guess you could say Gouki as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, just what's it called? I think it was game 2. I went because I had Avramax on board. He's not going to be able to OTK. He's not going to be able to OTK when I have this on board.
Yeah, good card.
I top deck Connector. Yeah, exactly. So, and then I top deck Connector, and then I normal summoned it, used its effect, summon Dolphin, and just scooped up. So, yeah,
fair.
Other than that, Connector didn't really come up, but in theory, the card does come up. And when it does come up, it's crazy.
I think, to be fair, there's so many hand traps as well in the format. Getting that knowledge of what hand traps are in your opponent's hand, and then taking one out of the game, because they have the Ashore, Veiler, or Imp in the Connector, which means if you have an extender, then it's just it's so free. It's such an insane card.
Exactly. I mean, because it's a card that applies so much pressure on the opponent to do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's you have to stop it or you auto lose.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So obviously a lot of people don't know what the Goukis do by themselves individually, right? So Twist Cobra is essentially an attack game monster. It's a quick effect, so you can use it during the damage step as well, which people don't know about. So let's say your opponent has a Dogmatic Punishment, you could then just chain it onto it, and then remove the targeted monster by punishment, and then the punishment will resolve without effect. So that was the pretty good thing about this card. It's good going against Winder, but that didn't come up at all, really.
Yeah.
And then, Guts has the defense position effect, where it can't destroy a battle, which comes up sometimes. And then it also has the gain 200 attack as well, which obviously comes up when you're trying to, again, reach for game as well. Mm-hmm. Octo Stretch basically is a battle fader. Against Dragon Link, the guy had game on board. But because I added this, I just went damage step on his Nibiru attack, and I just took 1500 rather than the full 3k. And then the Iron Claw, it was pretty good. And then the Iron Claw basically is just you send 2 equips, and then you summon it, and then you make Gearfried live, essentially. But yeah, this card is basically like during the damage step again. It's all these niche effects with damage step. It basically like I can target. When a Gouki monster battles an opponent's monster, I can send it from my hand to the grave specifically. So if I've been dim shafted, then like I can't use it.
Yeah, okay. No, that's pretty cool. And to be fair, would you consider this quite a standard Gouki sort of ratio lineup?
Going off like theory in terms of my Discord, the Gouki lab. I'd say so. yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. You can play like Scorpio if Window becomes popular, but Window's not popular right now, so you know.
Yeah, fair play.
And then obviously we have the 2 rematch. I've been messing around with 1 to be fair, just because you don't want to open it, but having it as a follow-up card, like, yeah, it just helps you like push through into game on the following turn. Like when you have rematch and Gearfried, it's just game over.
Yeah, insane. You also played the Fireflint Lady. How was that?
Yeah, it was really good because if you get interrupted on your normal summon, right, it basically just like pushes through.
It's a free summon, it's nuts.
Exactly, and then also like you can just like use it as a field effect, and then summon like a Twist Cobra, summon a Dolphin from hand, a Renaud, and then Renaud add back the Fireflint, so it's pretty cute.
So with all the extenders and stuff, how many times did you get Nibiru throughout the day? Was it an issue like going into most of your games?
I got Nibiru'd. Let me think. I think I got Nibiru. I definitely got Nibiru'd. It was against Fluffle 100%. Against Dragon Link. So I'd say I got Nibiru'd like 4 times.
Oof, but the thing is,
it was quite a few, right?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite a lot. But the thing is, like, the opponent has to drop Nibiru when I have like 4, like when I have Isolde, 2 Gouki bodies on board.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, then I go into Apple. Oops.
Of course,
Apple
yeah.
Here. Yeah, and then obviously, like, if they don't drop it, then obviously they just like they can't use Nib anymore.
Yeah. Is there a line to set up Apple on the 5th summon?
No, so it's basically set up for the. Hold on, so it's all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'd be the 6th summon that it's summoned on.
Yeah, so they have to nib before.
Yeah,
like,
so they have to nib on the 5th.
They have to know that interaction. For it to come up. And to be fair, you play a lot of hand traps as well. So even if you get Nibiru'd and you open like 2 hand traps, you can like nib them back, or at least have some disruption on your opponent's turn. And I also see that you play Fusion Destiny as well. So if you get nibs, you can just slap down the Fusion Destiny.
Exactly.
That was nuts. So you play Destiny Hero Denara as well. Was there a reason why you chose that over Celestial?
Yeah, so good point actually. A lot of people ask me this, and the reason why is because Celestial, like, it draws cards that you're searching anyway, and also like your hand's always full regardless because you're always searching off the Gouki bodies anyway. That's why.
Yeah, that's fair. So what does Denia do for the people who actually don't know?
Yeah, so basically it reborns himself from the graveyard as long as I have a Destiny Hero in the graveyard or on my field. So if I have a Dasher, Enforcer on field or in graveyard, I can just basically use it. And then what it does, if you play Mali with it, you can basically return the banished Mali from to the top of the deck, and then you can use the Mali again. So basically it's like 3 malicious.
That's nuts. Can it be reborn the same turn you Destiny Fusion? Or you Fusion Destiny?
If I use Fusion Destiny, yes. It came up against Dale Hawks, who played Drytron Megalith. I activated Fusion Destiny, and I had like access code because I put up all of his board, and then I made Fusion Destiny, Summon Enforcer, and then if I played Celestial, I wouldn't have been able to reborn it for game.
Yeah, that's huge.
So that does come up.
Nice. Yeah, I like that, to be fair, and I think that makes perfect sense. You don't really need the draw 2 if you're searching on Goukis anyway.
Exactly.
It'd be nice to like draw 2 hand traps, but you're not guaranteeing those hand traps. But yeah, no, that makes sense. I think you played the quite a few like 4 equips, is it? So so that you could like potentially draw those as well. But no, that makes perfect sense. So in terms of the main deck, before we go on to side and extra, were you happy with the main?
Yeah, overall I was because Ghost Bell. People don't know about like. I mean, people aren't really maining this card.
Mhm.
However, shout out to YuGiOh actually. He said that Bell is like one of the best hand traps in the format,
Yeah,
and I
it's
have to
good.
agree with him. I just have to agree with him because it hits so much stuff in the format.
So much.
Um, Honestly,
Enchantress,
like
DP. It's
exactly,
good against prank kids.
it's crazy against
Yeah,
prankers. Like it
it's
just
good.
answers everything. Um,
No, it's a good
Even
card.
cool
I agree with
buys,
that.
even cool buys as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
true, true.
even shark cannons when they try to snatch your enforcer from grave and then you
Yeah.
just bell it. It's like,
The
what I
one
mean? It's so
issue
good.
I have with the card is it's not very good against Flunder, which I think is a really popular
Yeah,
deck at the moment. I
yeah,
think looking at the regional, I think going rounds 2 and 3, there was like 6 or 7 Flunder players at the top tables.
yeah. It's kind of crazy, man. Like
So that's probably
crazy.
one of the worst hand traps against that matchup. But
I mean, to be fair though, it can come up against Thunder because you can go spell the Riser.
yes, you can. I think you can go spell Stree as well. The one it
Yeah, you
banishes.
can. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Um, so I suppose it can come up. But if you're summoning Riser, it's pretty rough anyway. But yeah, I mean that can come up. I agree. So side deck. Do you want to go onto that?
Yeah, so okay, so we'll go over the not so standard stuff. So we're
Yeah.
playing free Dark Ruler. Now the reason why is because like people are becoming a lot more greedier with their Enforcer Scythe combo, and they just
Mhm.
wait until the main phase.
Yeah.
Um, and Dark Ruler punishes that really, really hard. And that was the theory behind that.
Nice.
Um, yeah, so like it just beats that essentially because and then even if your opponent ends on like Battle Butler, and then like Enforcer plus Griffin, like it beats it.
Yeah,
So that
I
was the
don't think
mindset.
people really see it coming because everyone's trying to play around Droplet at the moment.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if they leave it to the main phase and you Dark Ruler, it's actually huge. It's massive.
yeah. It's just game
Um,
winning. Honestly, it's
yeah,
just game winning.
yeah, good card still.
100%. Like people just don't like when people don't expect certain cards. Like it just punishes them.
Yeah, I
Um,
think when
yeah,
Scythe eventually comes out the format, Dagda Scythe, whatever, I think one of them should go. I think Dark Ruler should start to come back into the format. I think the only reason why
100%.
it's not being played as much is because of Scythe.
Yeah,
But
specifically,
yeah, it's still like a really good card though.
100%. Yeah. So moving on, we sided the chord by rather than mained it.
Mhm.
Before the night before the event, I was debating on whether to play two Ghost Bell in the main and then main the chord and then main the chord by instead of the belt and then side the third bell. However, the chord by is mostly only good going first in comparison to the Ghost Bell when it can be used in the opponent's turn, and is essentially chord by anyway, especially against Bow Wow and
Yeah,
things like Water and Enchantress, right? So things like that.
no, it makes sense.
And then the next card is Droll. We're only playing two of this simply because we couldn't fit a third one in.
Yeah,
If we could have fit a third one in, we would have, and that would have been the 16th. You know what I mean? The 16th side deck card that we could have played.
yeah.
Um,
I think it's a good card. I think you just have to pair it with something else. I think
I
when
mean,
the Despia
sometimes, yeah,
deck when a Despia deck comes out, I think this will start being main deck a lot more.
yeah, I
Because
agree.
I think that deck will just be one of the most represented decks when it comes out because of the value you get
Yeah,
from the Despia, the Branded Fusion is just nuts in that deck. So once that deck starts coming into the metagame, we could see more draw. But for now, I think you just have to pair it with something else, or at least two of the hand drops.
yeah.
I still feel like it's a good card though.
100%. I mean, it punishes people who go for Water Enchantress, search the
Mhm.
right. It
Yeah,
really punishes that. But against base, like, it really punishes. Sometimes it's just like they skip their turn or they just end on Enforcer and pass,
yeah,
which then, like, this deck doesn't care about Enforcer alone. So,
true.
uh, yeah, so, like, Draw is really punishing. And something I was testing out beforehand as well, just to link in with Draw. I was testing Draw Hand actually. Let me just type it up. So I was testing this card
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Yeah. So this card basically during the standby phase is reborns itself, and then both players draw a card.
yeah.
And
Nuts.
if you have draw, it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's crazy. I saw that interaction quite a while ago. It's risky, but yeah,
Yeah.
it certainly can come up.
it's so good, but like I just felt as though Deny was better.
Yeah.
Moving on from there though, we played the 2 token collector. My friend, who I'll give a shout out at the end of the video, basically he borrowed my third, but I only wanted to play 2, and I only sided it against Sword Soul round 1. But other than that, it never came up. Obviously, it could have came up against Brave, but I just didn't think it was impactful enough against PKs, so I didn't side it in.
Yeah.
And then obviously onto the final hand trap, we played the Gamma.
Gamma's
Driver.
insane. Yeah.
Yes.
Really good card. I think generically you just chuck it in, go in second against everything.
100%. 100%. Again, it's off of Nesh's and Pax Fury because it's just good against everything going second.
It is, yeah. It's one of those hand traps you just chuck in, and you have to play around it, unfortunately. And if they open it plus another hand trap, it's normally, I think, the most impactful thing about Gamma is the destroy. It's because Verti is so prominent. If you get rid of that body, it makes it difficult for them to make a Verti, which is just like crazy.
Yeah.
One question: did you play any back row decks this format? The regional.
No.
No, because I'm looking at the side decks a little bit thin on the back row hate. Obviously, you've got Twin Twister, which covers like back row, prank kids.
It does,
but
I didn't side it in once, so I can't lie to you.
Yeah, fair.
Going forward, that will change.
I think it's a norm, to be honest. I think back row, it comes up at regionals, but like I played how many back row decks? I think I played 2 back row decks at the regional. But the adventure cards, I know you don't play them, but just deal with all the floodgates. So
yeah,
I think
it's just in case floodgates.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Was there anything you change about the side deck?
Yeah, it'd definitely be twin, and then it'd be the third draw. So like, the third draw will definitely go in instead of a token collector for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously like the twins would be evenlies instead.
Yeah, good card. I like evening this format because it deals with so much. If you bait out the Griffin against like prank kids,
you have to remove the whole board.
Yeah,
remove the whole board.
It's nuts. No, that makes sense. Do you want to go on to the extra deck?
Yeah, we can do. Okay, so basically, everything here in the tournament came up.
Nice.
Which is quite mental.
Yeah, there's loads of utility as well, to be fair. I'm looking at it. You've got a lot of coverage for different Link 2s. You play like Verti as well. So do you want to just go through from the left?
Yeah, I'll go over one at a time. Okay, yeah, so Enforcer. Enforcer's Enforcer. We all know how good this card is.
Good card.
It's actually my favourite card in the game. Basically, like, just the non-targeting effect about this is just so cracked.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But, like, something I will say, though, is if it gets removed from the board, like, let's say your opponent has Ogre and I have just Enforcer Appaloosa, like, it can be really, really deadly because then I have to pop my Apple as well, so then like, I lose my Monster Negates. So
yeah,
it's kind of...
Here's a quick question. So let's say you go first and you pop off like completely. You have the absolute nuts. What's your ending board?
Okay, yeah. So again, game 1, it's always like if I have like the nuts, no hand traps against me. The best board I can end on is Enforcer, Appaloosa, IP, and then like Verte. And then I can tag out the Verte and IP into something like Avramax, Unicorn, Phoenix, Cerberus, right? And then I can draw cards if they're co-linked as well during my opponent's turn.
No, that's pretty solid. A lot of coverage for different matchups with that end board as well. And plus you've got advantage and follow-up in hand from the Goukis anyway.
Yeah, it's so good, honestly.
Nice.
Especially like if you discard Phoenix Blade anyway, so it's just free. Like,
True.
It's really just
very free.
It's as free as can be.
Yeah. It's 2018 vibes right there. Phoenix
That's
Blade.
it, man. It's crazy. But yeah, moving on to Appaloosa. We play this card because of Flu Wonder and like other combo decks. Game 1 against Sword Soul, I just literally I held the Appaloosa negates for the tire specifically, and because he special summoned Ecclesia, and I was thinking about negating it, but I was just like, no, I just get punished by a hard summon tire or Moyi, and I was just like, there's no point. Yeah. I just waited for him to summon the tire, and then I just went Enforcer. I didn't go Enforcer, sorry. I went Apple negate, and then he just passed, and I went Enforcer, pop the tire. It also played around Gamma as well because I had Apple still with 1600 attack. So if I used Enforcer, pop the tire, and then use the graveyard effect and he gammaed the Enforcer, I'd basically be able to use the Appaloosa to negate the Gamma.
Yeah.
So it protects it like so well. Going on to the next card that is obviously part of the board that I can end on is IP. Now a lot of people forget that it can't be destroyed by card effects even when I haven't used its effect to summon. Honestly, it's so crucial.
Because you make that like an Avramax, and Avramax suddenly is like, wow, you can't really out this card. It's so strong. Can't be destroyed, can't be targeted. Pretty hard to get over in battle. I think you have to like kaiju it, ban it, like non-targeting, banish it. Yeah, there's so few interactions in the game that get rid of an IP summoned Avramax. It's kind of like Dragoon, but it's just like you can't really run over it with a big monster.
I know, it's mental.
Yeah, good card. No, I like that. So you got 2 Assaulted there. Did both Assaults come up, or was it just the one? Mostly?
They always come up, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because if your opponent, let's say, right, you don't have a Gouki to summon and then like chain block its effect, and they ogre it, then the second will always come up turn 1. Like let's say you go connector, summon Dolphin, and then like they imperm, like let's say the imperm Dolphin or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then you go into Isolde, and then they go ogre. Like it's just like it really comes up if you go like Durendal, search red layout or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then you just go into the second one and use the second effect.
No, it makes sense.
It also comes up like going into the follow up as well, just because then like let's say you got all your Gouki engine live, and then like you got a rematch anyway. Summoning a Gouki off the second effect like is just really bad because it doesn't advance your game state like really like fast, whereas Renard does. Obviously, if you summon like send a Durendal, summon the Renard, and then basically Renard add back the Durendal for cast, like it's so good because then like it gets into a 5 flint, which then is a free access code.
Oh, nice! That's crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of value. I think Assault's one of those cards that in the right deck is absolutely insane, and I think
honestly,
it's always been like that insane link to and Gouki in any sort of warrior deck. I think 2 makes sense. 2 definitely makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
So you also played all 3 Nightmares. When I say all 3, the main 3: Cerberus, Unicorn, and Phoenix. I think Phoenix and Unicorn are quite standard. Did Cerberus ever come up?
It came up way more than Phoenix did.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yes, because there was barely any back row apart from against the PK player I played against. Lewis, his name. You don't mind me saying names, do you?
No, crack on.
Okay. Yeah. So against Lewis, Phoenix came up just to like pop the imperm that he had set.
Yeah.
Obviously, he impermed the Appaloosa and I drew anyway. So like just getting the draw and like protecting from battle like can come up. That's the reason why I played it. Other than that, it's like not really worth playing now.
Yeah.
In this format, it's quite mental to say.
Yeah. For now, anyway, and hopefully format changes a bit, more back row. But I still think there'll be always back row in the format. Imperms, Droplet.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, good guy. I think one thing to be careful about Phoenix is if they set a Scythe as a bluff, and you just go Phoenix, pop it, and then just Scythe locked yourself, which I've seen happen quite a few times.
Yeah, it's happened to me like three times.
Yeah.
Like for I think like this format and past format or something. So yeah, it can come up. Obviously, you just have to be really careful when you use Phoenix. It's really iffy. Cerberus though. Oh my days, this card is crazy, right? Especially against Enforcer.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. It's actually mental. Like, let's say, right, you co-link a Phoenix or a Unicorn that you haven't used, and then you just put a Cerberus underneath it. You pop the Enforcer or the Griffin.
Oh wow, they can't be destroyed, right?
Yeah, can't be destroyed by card effect, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But, like, people don't know these effects, and it's like, I'm surprised that people don't know them because, obviously I played these cards for a while. In Spiral, going second, Gouki, obviously. like it always comes up where like they can't be sure about card effects, can't be sure about battle, draw cards in the draw phase, stuff like
Yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
just,
Yeah, they're the best like
and
links,
again,
like generic links. But no, that makes sense. I think Cerberus, like, it's so many good monsters in the format, and being able to bait one of those out to then extend further, make an access code, seems pretty nuts. To be fair, I like the theory.
yeah, it's so good honestly because like then you could just like let's say you have an IP and then like make Cerberus and then go into Avramax.
Yeah,
There you go, happy days. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So going on to access code is just access code. A funny play actually that people might want to know is that you can banish it for cost. And let's say your opponent has a skill drain, you can just banish it and then like pop the skill drain.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah. That comes up. That does come up in It
Yeah,
comes up quite a lot. To be fair,
yeah, it is quite funny because
yeah, it's nuts. I don't think there's not much skill drain in the format, but I think it's due to come into the format eventually this season.
yeah,
But yeah, that is an interaction to know for sure.
I agree. Like at the end of the day, right? Let's say I mean because like a lot of people play this card, it's kind of standard, right?
Yeah.
So, like you just go, like I said, you just banish it for cost and then just pop skill drain. It's just so free.
I mean, obviously you lose your access code talker, but if I mean if you have follow up and you have ways to extend through it, so yeah, it's a good interaction.
In this deck, you most likely will just because of like rematch, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, definitely. Also, Link Karibo, what was the reason behind that?
okay, so against again against the Fluffle player, he went Dark Charmer. Target the he could have targeted one of my Destiny heroes, but then like I shown the Link Karibo more, as in I revealed the card more, so it was more clearer to him, so he could see it. And I ended on a Guts on board, so this level one here. And honestly, Link Karibo is probably like one of the best Link ones in the game, like ever, like
It's
and
a good
ever
card,
will
yeah.
be.
Yeah,
Honestly, like it lets me play in my opponent's turn. Let's say I get drolled, and then I just like I end on Guts and then have a Link Karibo engrave. Like at the end phase, I could just go Link Karibo effect, tribute the Guts and search for a Super X, let's say.
Oh, okay, nice. I think it's better in this deck because of those interactions for follow up, and
So
to stop you from like getting OTK'd. But
Yeah,
but yeah, no,
exactly.
that makes sense. That makes sense. And yeah, I think like you said, that's probably one of the best Link ones in this deck because of the advantage it can give you and stop you from dying. But yeah, I like that. That's sick.
Yeah, but then like obviously again referring back to the Fluffle player, he went dark, target this, and then I just chained it onto the Guts, and then he was like, oh no, yeah, I was like, yeah, you misplayed, but it was sort of like a mind game thing anyway, so
Of course.
you know
Yeah.
it's like you kind of have to like do these mind game things.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, in my opinion, like the best Link monster in this deck, Avramax.
Hmm.
Against Dragon Link, Team Shift, Luke Bokis, who actually topped instead of me. No, I respect him, and yeah, this card he attacked into it twice, and he thought it was once per battle phase, but it's once per battle.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's a oddly worded card, and there's so much you
Yeah,
have to know about this card to actually deal with it. To be fair, there is droplet in the format which can like deal with it, but like again, you have to have the droplet, and
yeah, 100%.
if you don't have the droplet, there's so many things to remember with this card and how many interactions you have to deal with just to get around it. I
thing
remember
is with
back
droplets,
in the day. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, you go on with what you were gonna say.
No, I was just gonna say back in the day, it was such a hard card before like droplet come out for access code.
Yeah,
It was a good link for.
it's very good. The only reason why I have this card is because I literally pulled it out of like a pack I won for locals.
Nice.
One pack, literally, and I've pulled it.
Nice.
It's so funny, but I've not got rid of that card. I've just always played it. So
Nice.
yeah. Also, the fact that what's it called? If it's like sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card and not card effect. So let's say they card you it, and they have a card on board. I can just go effect engrave, shuffle back a back row or something.
Yeah,
so,
that interaction is also huge as well. It's
Yeah.
another reason why this card is actually like slept on.
honestly, like, it breaks so
Yeah.
many boards.
I think the
Against,
wording, if this card link summon card you control is sent to the graveyard. So if they nib you, even if they drop it, you get over it. It still gets a shuffle. Like, it's crazy.
Exactly. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Honestly, like against PKs, if you make this card against them, you have to then go into like what's it called? Break sword, attack.
Yeah.
They do 3k to themselves, and then like they just they go Zeus.
Yeah.
And that's the only way they're adding it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's made with IP.
Yeah, of course.
Against I forgot to mention, against that Dragonlink player, Team Shift, right? It's Team Shift member. He basically attacked into it like multiple times with Nibiru and Levine.
Yeah.
And I just went effect again, and he took 6k from it.
Oof.
Yeah. So I think he learned the hard way.
Yeah, but he topped though, so I'm sure he's fine with that.
He did. But yeah, like, and then obviously Verte. A cute thing about Verte is that like you can just bait out a Baylor. So let's say you go effect, target like opponent's face-up monster on the field becomes dark. Like, you just target it and then like the Baylor it, and then you don't take 2k because they Baylor the first effect.
Ah, okay.
So like you can target your opponent's monster. Let's say they have like a token.
Yeah.
Right, the Brave token. You go effect, target the Brave token to make dark, and they go, why is he doing this? He's trying to make super poly. So then they just Baylor it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can try
and they just go,
Baylor
it. Honestly, like Verte as a card design is just so like stupid.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's bannable. It's definitely bannable. Like it should be, because I think the reason why this card's broken is you have to open at least like 2 or 3 hand traps against some of these all gas like decks at the moment, because let's say do full combo and they nib you. Cool. Activate Souls Reveal, get draws, and then make a Verte DP. And like if you can't deal with that, you have to open the Imperm. So it's like it creates too many. It does too much for so little.
For sure.
But yeah, it's bannable. Like arguably, it does make a lot of decks good. Like tier 2 sort of decks, like relevant.
Like this
but
one,
again, yeah, it just it does too much for too little. Slap 2 monsters together, make a DP with a broken.
It's like Orcus combo. It's like Orcus combo.
Yeah, it literally is. Yeah, no, I agree.
But yeah, this card is like really problematic.
Yeah.
And then also you got to think, right? Fusion Destiny, like as an individual card, like it gets so many resources out of the opponent.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, especially if people go in Celestial. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what's the card to the right of Verte?
This one. Rattan, yeah. So this card is my secret tech, right? I've been playing it for quite a while.
Okay.
So you guys probably already know DB Grinder. I went on his channel properly, but like I had a game on his channel against Prank Kids.
Yeah.
And he covered this card and talked about it. The fact that it just basically like at the start of the battle phase, it destroys one card on your opponent's field and it targets. But like it gets over so many things. So let's say like your opponent goes Gozen, your opponent goes Rivalry, your opponent goes like, anything like that. And then you just summon this and it outs it straight up. It's an Earth Warrior.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those cards your opponent has to know the interaction for it.
Exactly.
So did it come up much?
To be honest, not this tournament, just because there was nothing that like floodgated me.
Yeah.
But overall, like it should be in the extra deck just because it's a utility card. So
yeah, it's definitely utility.
These floodgates, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. Moving on to Security Dragon. This card is good. Because you get co-linking.
This card's sick. This card's one of my favourite Link 2s. Because it's so generic, like 2 monsters. It could be anything, token, non-effect monster. And then it's just a bounce that they have to deal with.
It's free. Like again, it's another card that puts pressure on the opponent. Like
Go second, it's insane.
Exactly. Like this deck can go first and is really good at going first. But the extra deck and the hand traps and everything, like, really entitles it to go second as well.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree.
Obviously, going second, like, you just side in all your hand traps, side in your going second cards, and all of a sudden you're going second deck, so, you know what I mean? And then the final card is Gouki Paolo Doga. Obviously, a lot of people know about this just because of progression series from last year.
That's right. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah. So basically, the thing with this card is like against Flu Wonder, or Flunder Free as I call it.
It actually, this card is actually very free against that matchup.
Honestly,
insane,
mental. Like if I think it was match 3, right? Yeah, it was against Flunder. The guy who finished second, Sam, I think his name is.
Yeah.
He won game 1, and game 2 I basically made this with Enforcer and had like Droll, Bell, and Ash in my hand. I didn't use Bell or Ash in my hand. I used the Droll and I had this Enforcer, and he just went, no, I can't beat this.
Yeah, it's a lot, especially for that matchup.
Yeah,
but
he's just not beating it.
Yeah, is there anything you change about the extra deck?
Honestly, no. Nothing will change from the extra deck now. No,
Cool.
Stay this way throughout the whole format.
Yeah, it's a solid deck, to be fair.
Thank you.
Cool. Do you want to wrap it up? Is there any shout outs you want to do?
Yeah, so there's a few. So first of all, I've got a notes here actually. So first shout out to Jake Cabinuk. I can't say his last name right, but yeah, shout out to him because he gave me a Destiny Hero mat. Shout out to him for that.
Nice.
Shout out to Dre, obviously just for being a good mate. Shout out to Sir Eminon on YouTube. He actually topped a regional with Gouki 60 card with sort of my theory behind it as well. So shout out to him. There's loads of shout outs, right? So there's a shout out to YuGiOh Replays on YouTube, so please check him out, and on Twitch. Obviously I speak to him a lot and I'm on his streams a lot as well, so please check him out. DB Grinder, Karuuda Free. Who else was it? Alex. Shout out to Alex for driving us down as well. Do appreciate that from him. I think that's about it. If there's any more,
Nice.
then obviously you know who you are. But yeah.
Nice. No, fair play. Well done on, again, going X2. Shame you couldn't top, but you've already got a top this season with the deck. So
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so congrats. Congrats
Thank you so
again, and
much.
hopefully we'll see some more of you on the channel and in the near future. And guys, if you have any comments or if you want any questions, just drop them in the comments below, and I'm sure Kallum will happily answer them.
100%.
But yeah, we'll leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.